Sounds good.
All right, so my Renee with Metal and Metal Out, and today, luckily enough to talk to vocalist Jess and guitarist Kent of the band Juliet Ruin. Thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for talking to
Yeah,
us.
for sure. Thanks for having us.
Y'all have some cool stuff happening for y'all. Y'all have a new EP coming out in the middle of the month. How long has this been in the process writing this album or the EP?
What would you say?
Well, I would say we actually just started working on it at the beginning of 2020. We decided to go into a few writing jams and just play out some stuff. And when we wanted to do a single, and then it became a 3-song EP, and then it became a 4-song EP in a matter of a few months. And then we recorded it all over the summer. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think? Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry, I was taking a nap. Shit.
Same.
The unfortunate downtime, it has kind of maybe gave you some time to maybe really fine tune the songs.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was actually given quite a bit more time with the lyrics than I thought I'd have, just by pushing back some of the recording. So that was actually really good because I was able to, in the downtime, work on some of my harsh vocals, and then I kind of fell in love with expanding those. I was able to throw a lot of new stuff into the songs because of that. So I actually kind of found that to be a silver lining for me personally in the band, but the rest of the members had already pretty much had their stuff done.
Yeah, I was able to spend some time just really nailing down and
Fine-tuning,
fine-tuning little bits and pieces, so it went really smooth when we went in and recorded
True,
finally.
true.
So it was not bad having the extra few months to work on it before getting our studio time in.
Yeah, we had to put things on hold a couple times, but we made it work though, so it was good.
Yeah. Now, when y'all are writing or constructing a song, do y'all able to write together? I mean, do y'all live within kind of the same region?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all practice at one spot, before COVID, at least a couple times a week, and then so we write collaboratively pretty well together. Usually one of us will bring a few riffs to the table, and we'll try to piece them all together into a longer structure, and then once that's done, then Jess gets it for the vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, just for yourself, do you maybe have any input as to where the song direction may be going when they're constructing it, or do you just let them do whatever they're going to do, and then you come in with the lyrics and you do what you want?
For the most part, I let them kind of just flow with what they're doing. I am present during the jams and things like that. So if I ever do have any input, or I think a certain vocal run or bridge would sound good in a certain spot, I'll jump in and kind of ask if they can do certain things. But for the most part, it's they set it up, and then I come in and do the melodies and vocals and lyrics and stuff.
Yeah. Now, depending on the song structure or maybe the riffs or whatever you're feeling from the song, does that kind of help you on the lyrical content of what you're going to put onto it?
Definitely. I oftentimes too will just ask them what does the song make you guys feel, or how do you feel writing that riff? Tell me, because otherwise I just have a million things I could write about. So it helps definitely.
Now, do you keep a journal of maybe possible bits and pieces that can be part of lyrics to where you can refer back to?
Yes, definitely. The notes section in my phone, if someone were to find my phone and look through it, it would make zero sense. It's just random lyrics from 3 a.m. just randomly. And there have definitely been some songs where I've taken little bits from lots of poetry or just random ideas. So it's helpful definitely when I'm at kind of at a loss for what to write about. It's definitely good to have.
Yeah. And I guess the same thing would be for you, Ken, as as a musician, now that we have this technology, I mean, shit, you can put the phone and push record and you can just start recording riffs.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm not super great on recording equipment myself. Some of the other guys are a little better with it than me. Cody is able to do our pre-production in the band and all that stuff, but I'm not that great with it. I keep all the riffs in the head vault, and a couple of the songs off the EP got riffs coming from the stuff that I'd been worked on before that I'd abandoned, and so. Yeah, it's good to have a backup of material to work with, because you can definitely Franken riff, as I like to say. Yeah.
Put everything together. Yeah, there's a lot of bands that I mean, just because of the easy access, a lot of bands have home studios. Do y'all have that luxury too, to where when y'all were recording this EP?
No. We do go to a friend's home studio really nearby our home though, so it's really, really convenient. It's about 2 blocks away from our jam space where we do record, so that's really awesome.
Yeah, really close. Our guy Diego from Oracle Recording Studios is where we got it done. It was really quick and efficient, and the guy really made the dream come to life.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
great.
we had to go in to get help to get it done, but it was really easy to do by working with him.
And now that the songs are pretty much finalized, are you happy with the results to where this is a sound that you wanted when you started construction these songs?
Yeah, definitely for me, I'm even more happy with how they turned out than I thought I would be at the beginning. I definitely think that after so many years together in this band, I think it's a sound that I want to push. Like I think we've really been experimenting with our sound over the years, and this is finally, I think we've locked in on something that I really, really could see myself writing tons in, and I like the lower tuning and just yeah. So tons of stuff has emerged and made the music better for me personally through this experience. So.
Yeah, and Jess's vocals steps forward made the EP come out a lot stronger than any of us really predicted because we really discovered the depth of how much more extra screen strength she'd gotten while we were in those sessions recording those vocals.
Yeah, it was interesting, definitely.
Yeah, and that's something that everybody has to be, whoever's a vocalist and they're doing scream vocals or growls, that to where you have to be careful with. What are some of the things that you do maybe to warm up before you do some of those parts?
I definitely put a lot more emphasis now than I ever used to on just making sure I'm warmed up in general before screaming. And also another like little trick that I really love that a lot of vocalists share is to bring candy with you. I know like a lot of people do the, like the steaming and stuff, which is also very good. But if you're going to be doing a lot of really gritty vocals, having a little bit of, like candy or gum or something is a lifesaver. But Diego's always like, what are you like rattling in there? What is that? I'm like, oh, just a minute. Have to, chew on this candy. But it really does. It really helps just being totally warmed up. And also just like, just making sure that, you're not hurting yourself. Or if you feel tired, just say like, I need to cut it short. I need to rest my vocals. And that's, I used to be afraid to say that. But I mean, it's best to just, be easy on yourself.
Yeah. I've even heard, besides candies, there's all these different remedies. I've seen that there's even some, I guess, professional products, but some of the other stuff, of course, is just throwing down some whiskey,
Yeah. I mean, I've done that one too, and it turned out okay. So,
yeah.
Memories.
Yeah. The very first single the Juliet Ruin recorded cost about 3/4 of a bottle of whiskey during the vocal sessions. It was a good one though.
Telling my secrets.
As long as you can look back at it, have fond thoughts,
Absolutely.
Now you do have a new single, "Fake Stigmata," which is, I mean, that's where I actually initially heard the first song that I heard from you. I was like, and then I reached out to your publicist. Hey, is there any way I can talk to them? Because I really enjoy the song. Where did that idea come from for that song and to make that video the way it came out?
Well, for the song, it's kind of just like just symbolism for how certain people can try to come into your life as a positive force and actually just kind of be draining instead. And I think that it like vaguely people can relate lots of different experiences to that, definitely. And the lyric video is done by our friend Brandy Black, and basically we just, for all of our lyric videos for this EP, we just gave them to her with the lyrics and said, whatever vibes you get from this, just go with it. And we've barely had to tune anything back. She's just awesome. So she just comes out with these great lyric videos and kills it every time.
It's been pretty handy to just kind of give her the lyrics and say, draw the inspiration, and it's been working out pretty well for us for lyric vids.
Handy, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. One of the things that I noticed is as the musical community is kind of like a one big family, to where if you need something, somebody knows somebody that can actually do that for you.
Absolutely. It's so great.
Yeah, it's great to have a production like this where you do an album and you do a bunch of content for it, and all the people that you have working for you and with you are all just people that you hang out with at shows.
Yeah.
That they're just part of the community.
Yeah, it's a nice way to lift each other up and help each other out.
Yeah. And that's got to be one of the biggest things that, I mean, besides playing live, that you miss going to shows from. I mean, myself personally miss going to shows because you see that concert family that you have.
Yeah.
You always see every
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
There's lots of people I got used to seeing on the regular that I haven't seen in a long time.
Oh
now.
yeah. It's just it's beyond how much I miss people. I didn't even expect to miss everybody this much. It's great. It's so great. The community is amazing.
Yeah. Although there is probably maybe like one or two you can probably still do without.
There's always a lesson.
There's always, every community you got one or two, right?
Right. I know what you're saying. So, is there any specific reason that you decided to make this an EP rather than maybe a full length?
Well, we had just done a full length previously, and I think after doing the full length, we were all kind of just like, okay, that's that for that. Like, let's never do that again. We are glad we did it, but like, let's just quickly do them as we write them now, because it was just a lot of everything and a lot of writing that went into it and just a lot of conceptualizing. So I think we just want to do the shorter like singles and EPs from now on, as far as I know.
Yeah, we can keep what's like freshest in our output to the forefront just by putting out shorter materials like EPs. It takes a lot longer time to construct 10 or 12 song album, and maybe by the time you get to the end of writing it, you don't like what was at the beginning of the writing process.
Yeah,
so if you
I
can
found
just
that for me.
we shoot them out in just little short bursts like this, you can keep really fresh on like what you're feeling is good music. Like usually by the time an EP or record comes out for me, I'm well past it, and I've written way better stuff, and I don't like it anymore. But with Dark Water, it came out so quickly that I'm still, it's still
We still
the
like
freshest of the Juliet Brain material.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because everybody, a lot of musicians that I mean, it's a creative thing that you've made, and it's like you're trying to pick your favorite child,
Yeah.
Now, you kind of mentioned that this is something that you may do going forward, and I've seen a lot of bands kind of moving to that, to where they're just releasing EPs or singles, like you mentioned, which is, I mean, for the turnaround for that, you can do that, every 8 to 12 months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it also kind of help you keep in the ear of fans, because fans, of course, they're just bombarded with so much music.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wait 2 or 3 years to turn out another album, they're like, who is that band again? They just kind of forget.
Yeah, totally though.
Yeah, it's the kind of the way of the game nowadays, is you got to stay in people's minds. So you can't wait to, like you said, a couple years to put something out. It's helpful to try to keep
it fresh.
Keep it fresh.
Yeah. Now, if you would have been around maybe like 20 years ago, you could have done that, because people still went to the record store to purchase an album and things like that. But now there's just too much stuff out there to kind of get to that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely.
Yeah. Now, for yourself, Kent, when you were, writing some of these riffs, do you maybe tap into something maybe emotionally or mentally, and then kind of let that bleed through as you're composing?
I've always found that I write the best riffs when I'm fired up to some degree about one thing or another. It's not that direct, like subjects necessarily go into the riffs, but maybe just feelings of indignation, or anger at general things in the world, or just vibes in general. Yeah, it's definitely something that comes off a feeling. It's hard to just like build something out of its blocks without really just having a feel to it,
Yeah. Now, and the same thing for you, Jess, because you're kind of working off the riffs that they're getting. Do you, hopefully this isn't too personal, when it comes into dig into those that booklet that you have of all those lyrics, is there at any time to where you say, well, maybe I may hold back and not reveal this part personally, but still find something else that'll fit that part?
Yeah, absolutely. Or I'll find a way. Like, I love to work with metaphors and kind of hiding things in there and things like that. And sometimes I'll even just ask the guys to, like, I'll be like, this is what this song is meaning to me. Like, do you guys have any input too? Like, does that make any of you feel anything? Because that gives me kind of a better perspective on how the lyrics may be affecting other people and other people's perspectives, because there's so many ways, you know, for a song to hit. So it's actually really convenient too. And I've always been thankful on that token that everybody has been so open with me, and that they're all so willing to give me ideas, because I think I write better songs because of the input. So
Now, do y'all feel that as musicians, y'all know the same thing too. You probably felt it to where music has helped you through different patches of your life. I mean, that's just inevitable. If you're part of music or in the music scene or just love music in general, do you feel at any time any pressure to maybe try to write maybe certain songs of, you know, whatever type of content, maybe whether it be depression or maybe trying to get some, you know, the thought of, if I write these lyrics, this may help somebody? Or do you just generally write where what you feel is gonna maybe help you through? Because some people, of course, use it, you know, to kind of get through, you know, something emotional as a cathartic experience when they're writing. So how do you go?
well, I used to, when I first started in the metal scene, I used to try to write lyrics that I thought would be metal, or would be interpreted in a certain way. And the more that I've been connecting with people through this band, the more I've been just getting so honest. And I think that being able to connect with certain emotional aspects of my music and being really vulnerable is a way that I can connect with other people and kind of say, like, you know, if I'm feeling this and if you're feeling this, like, clearly, you know, we're human and this is happening to us, and it's okay. And there's actually our next song off the EP is one that I did write with the sheer intent of helping other people through hard times, because it was just an overwhelmingly emotional time with COVID and everything else that was going on, that the finishing that I put on that song was basically like a reach out to everybody. So I'm actually really excited to be able to connect with people in a really honest way with that one.
Yeah. And I think that's gonna be very beneficial. I know some people, there's like a lot of musicians, they're like, well, we shouldn't talk about that or we shouldn't be part of that. But it does help people, especially right now, like you mentioned in COVID, there's been so much incidences of, you know, just, you know, of depression or anxiety, because I mean, we're just not in the norm right now. So anything like that is beneficial for the community and as a whole.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So for yourselves, talking on that topic, you know, if y'all have used music, what kind of records, if you're feeling down, would you dig out of the closet and put on to help you feel better?
Good one. That's a
That is a
good
good
question.
one.
What do you?
I don't know. I think it's usually not like the heaviest of heavy. If I get like really down, I like kind of like Tool and stuff like that. The stuff kind of just
Yeah.
really fills up your brain. I don't know. That stuff kind of puts me in a better mood a lot of times.
Yeah, I think that for me, especially recently, it's my go-to for cheering myself up is like Dance Gavin Dance. And there's just such a fun, amazing band, and I just emotionally connect with so much of their music. And I also find it just hilariously fun to try to keep up with the singer Tillian, because he just sings so high, and it's hilarious and fun to try try to sing along. And yeah, I really love them. And also Spirit Box has been a big one for me. Also the Browning, I love their stuff. It's just so much fun. Like, they
Yeah.
really get me pumped up. So yeah.
Yeah, they're too.
They're a party band. Their
They're
music, a party,
yeah,
like, you know.
Yeah, the Browning. Yeah, they're a fun freaking time.
they're so fun. Yeah.
In all those bands that you mentioned, those three bands that you mentioned live.
Have we seen any of them live?
Yeah.
The Browning we played 2 shows with in October
Yeah.
when we joined. We just jumped on for the Calgary and Edmonton dates of the Ginger, Browning, and Sumo Psycho tour.
Yeah, that was
Played with those few bands in Edmonton and Calgary, and that was dope. And yeah, the
Mind-blowing.
Browning is super fun to see live. Yeah.
yeah. Now, it is hard to avoid, you know, Ginger. You know, they're just kind of all over the place. And have you taken any inspiration yourself just from the way Tatiana sings?
Absolutely. Actually, yeah. Without sounding like absolute fangirl.
Oh,
Watching the
same.
Ginger from Side Stage changed my freaking life. Like just watching her scream and watching her just like with this relaxed expression and these bellows coming out of her, and I was just like, I must learn how to do this, like I have to. And I was like, come hell or high water, I'm going to figure out how to do that. And it's obviously I have miles to go, but she is so inspiring, and she's just, it was like larger than life just watching her do her thing, and I just was so inspired. So yeah, absolutely, just even the fire under my ass to learn how to scream better, it started that night, like that instant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the same thing for Spirit Box. Courtney is like, I mean, she's been around for a while to where, yeah, her vocals are just spot on too.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah. Courtney is amazing. Yeah, my friends in Cosm, another really awesome band that we love from Vancouver, introduced me to Spirit Box a couple years ago, and I think I've listened to Spirit Box every single day since they told me about them. But yeah, Courtney is amazing.
Yeah, I believe they have an LP coming out pretty soon
Yeah,
too.
I'm really excited
Really?
about that. Yeah,
They're
they
actually
just
doing an
finished.
album now?
They just finished recording. I followed them on Twitter, and Courtney said that she said, "Now I rest." So I was like, "Yes, it's coming."
Nice.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
much good music, along with your EP coming out soon. I mean, even though we've had this downtime, there's not any shows. As a fan, thank you for putting out music, because this kind of keeps us going to where there's going to be a little bit, there's a light at the end of that tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. We had discussed not releasing anything like until we could play shows again, and certainly we might have made off a little better money-wise that way, because you make good physical sales when you play
Yeah.
shows, and you can. It's easier to promo when you're on the road, promoting a bunch of different shows and things like that. But we figured, there are people that like us. They are going to want to hear from us especially in a rough time. It's going to help. So we figured it was best to just at least try to get something out during this time.
Yeah, we definitely viewed it as one of those, if we can even connect with just a couple people, or even if we can, make this easier, or, whatever, for even just a few people, then definitely it's worth it. Absolutely. And it's fun. So
Oh, now how's the music scene there? Is everybody still pretty active putting out music?
In the
Edmonton?
Edmonton area, there's a few. Yeah, actually, our boys and Tides of Corone just released their first single today, and they got a fresh new whole LP coming soon.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's been a few here. Like it's slow. It's slower than it's been in the last few years because it's always been really busy. But guys are working their way around it. A few of my friends in different bands you can see them finishing up recording projects here and there, ready to release stuff. And it's coming along still, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on opposite sides of the country, so to say. You're in Edmonton. I'm like in South Texas, pretty far. I had talked to I don't know if you know him, Josh Gould of the myopia condition. They're out of Red Deer.
Cool.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're
Yeah.
they're so good. They just
Yeah.
released a new LP too. Yeah. That
Yeah.
was right.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah. So we, of course, unfortunately, we are during this COVID condition. What are some of the things that, besides, finishing up the recording process for this EP, that, things that y'all have done to kind of stay productive and kind of keep a positive attitude?
Personally, I've been playing way more video games than I ever have in my life, and I honestly think that that's so good for your mental health, to just shut all the BS off for a bit and do fun stuff in the video game world. That has been my number one coping mechanism, I swear.
Yeah, I haven't been too productive in the writing category
No.
music wise. I've just been having a really rough time getting off the writer's block in this pandemic. I'm not sure why, but I'm not beating myself up about it. It's an extraordinary circumstance. I work as a paramedic in Edmonton here, so I have enough stress on my plate on a daily basis than to worry about my writer's block and stuff. So I just
It'll come.
try to make myself play every once in a while, but it'll come and we'll get through it.
Yeah.
That's funny to say that. I guess we're part of the EMS family. I'm a medic and a firefighter too down here.
Oh, sick, dude.
Cool,
That's awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
How long
cool.
you been in business?
15 years.
Yeah. I started my EMT 24 years ago.
Oh, that's
Wow,
awesome, man.
That's really
cool.
cool.
That's a little while.
Yeah.
Some of the students that because I also teach, some of the students I have, they're like, I've been doing this longer than they've been born. This kind of makes me feel really old.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, I'm the old guy at the station. That's all right.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Jess, you mentioned video games. So, what are some of your favorite ones that you've been kind of playing along so you don't get, I guess, bored completely?
They're the two that I'm playing the most often are very opposite from each other. One is Mortal Kombat 11 and the other is Animal Crossing. Very
Yeah.
faces covered. Those are the two that are my go-tos right now. I've been meaning to pick up some Zelda games and catch up on some stuff that I've never played before, but I'm such a sucker for crossing those animals.
I hear you. My wife and my kids play that too, and they're like, I have a character on there too, but I barely check on it. I did want it to pick up Mortal Kombat though, but I think that would just turn into a real fight at home.
Yeah, it's so great. I love that game. I love Mortal Kombat games so much. Yeah,
I up with it, so I mean I understand, but it's that competitive part that'll come out, and you're like, you'll just get mad, and you throw your controller down.
Oh yeah, we have to walk away sometimes. We're like,
I hear you. So one of the I guess trend type things that's been happening recently is bands doing live streams. Is there any possibility that y'all may play like a few songs on release date?
No, we don't have any plans for anything like that. We have been sticking to the rules pretty good around for us. We haven't really practiced together for quite some time. We're probably, as far as performance stuff goes, just going to have to wait for the stage again. We haven't been super interested in doing the live stream thing. I mean, opinion could change depending on the situation, but I think we'll probably just wait for stages again.
Yeah. Now, how is that looking down there as to maybe some venues opening up like at a certain percentage?
Oh, it still looks like it's some time off yet. I have no idea. Yeah.
Apparently, we're starting to see better vaccine rollouts, or not better, but like just more and more people are getting it. So that's always great. But yeah, trying to stay optimistically cautious.
Yeah. The stage will hopefully still be there when we get back. Like the live stream thing is just not our super forte right now, so it's not something we're going to delve into at the moment.
We'll definitely have to shake a lot of rust off, especially because we haven't jammed in so long. I'm just like, does anybody remember these songs?
Yeah, there'll be just a little relearning process.
Yeah, probably. That'll be funny.
Funny that I don't know if you've seen, like down here in Texas, our governor is like, yay, no masks, 100% businesses all open, which is kind of crazy. People are, and the rest of the country is like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
But people have the option to wear masks, do your own protective measures. It's not like you have to do what he tells you.
Yeah.
We're adults, we can think and do what's best for us.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that other people may be thinking is like, okay, well now venues can open back up and maybe music can start up again.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be a little cautious about it personally. Still, having the whole medical field thing. I dealt with quite a few sick people, and I'd rather just see the end of the pandemic than an early start to music again. I love it and I miss it, and it's been horrible not going to shows for as long as we have, but I'd rather it be the right time than now,
I think if we've waited just a few more months for more people to get the vaccine, then do it to it. Maybe fall time would be
100%.
Yeah, you got it, buddy. That's probably where I would land too.
Yeah.
And
then we can get back to normalcy eventually.
Yeah, get everybody their outlets back. Live music is so precious. We need it. So,
and especially in metal shows, and it's one of those things to where it's not like you can just like, well, let me just go ahead and sit in the chair and I'll watch this. It's a different thing compared to being up front on the stage and then interacting with everybody.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when y'all are playing live too. I mean, getting that feedback would be weird if people are just sitting there just staring at you like they're watching a TV.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you always like to see some energy coming back at you. It's definitely tough to do it with everyone seated.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, what the hell am I doing here? It's like I don't see nobody moving or nobody moshing or nothing.
It makes you way more. It makes you feel way more like exposed when people are just sitting there. Like, yeah, it's way better. It's way better when everyone's up front and moving around and having fun. Can't
Right.
wait for that to happen.
I know. I know. That some other musicians that I've interviewed, they're. I mean, I don't know if you do it yourself, Jess, but they go into the crowd face to face. I mean, they're right now. Just that would be impossible.
Oh my gosh, yeah, totally. I really love connecting with the audience, and yeah, I'm just even just thinking about how close we all used to get, and I'm just like, it makes me have anxiety. I can't wait for that to fade away too.
Yeah,
Seeing the people on TV and being like, what the hell?
and you're right. That anxiety to where once it does open back up and everybody still has vaccines, we have to overcome that little hurdle to where it's okay to do this.
Yeah, yeah. We've all had that little response for a year now, so it's going to be definitely an adjustment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Everyone's
Yeah.
gonna have to condition themselves back out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what was before everything got shut down? What was like the last show that you played as a band, or the last band that y'all saw live?
The last show that we played was with a band, Royal Tusk, and it was, where was that?
That was in Stony Plain,
Man.
just a little small town outside of Edmonton.
Yeah.
Um,
And then before that was the Ginger shows that we had picked up. So yeah, like just those 3 shows. Luckily, they were all really great, amazing shows to take with us to kind of like feel that energy for the rest of the time. But yeah, those were the last few.
yeah, well, the last one we attended was we got to see our buds and our local friends in Ravage Red and
Right.
Tessitura open up for Soulfly in Edmonton.
That was the last show.
That was the last show you and I
Yeah.
attended.
Okay. Yeah. Soulfly then.
Yeah.
Damn.
The legendary Max Cavalera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy's a beast.
Yeah.
Trucking too, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kent, I mean, you play, I don't know if you're as mind boggled as me, but this guy can write some freaking riffs, man.
Oh yeah. Riffs for days. I've always kind of chuckled at the somewhat cheesy content of his lyrics, but that guy can write riffs like nobody's business.
Yeah. When he had Nail Bomb, when he had Cavalera Conspiracy, Soulfly, Sepultura, I mean, it's just holy moly, man. This guy has written some amazing riffs.
Like, I don't even know how many albums he has under his belt. It's insane. Like, what does Soulfly have? 9 albums now or 10?
Yeah. Yeah. and then he's also has another side project with one of his sons coming out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's also in the Killer Be Killed with the guy from Dillinger and Mastodon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just released that a few months ago. That's a killer album too.
Yeah, I dig that one quite a bit.
Yeah. So, besides, of course, ordering, whether stream, preferably physical, picking up the copy of the new EP, what else can fans do to support y'all during this time?
We actually just set up a merch store too. That's on our website. We teamed up with a local friend doing a merch distribution thing. It's called Merchlink. So at JulietRuin.com, we have just under our shop tab tons of designs from our friend Brandy Black, who did our lyric videos. And even just listening to her stuff, like we definitely appreciate when people give us a spin. So we love that so much.
Streaming helps if that's how you listen to music. Stream it. That's
Bandcamp.
that. It all counts. It takes a while to get you money there, but it counts and it supports. So
And tell a friend.
Tell a friend. That's the biggest thing. The biggest thing nowadays is visibility. So if you like it, tell somebody else about it.
Yeah. That share button. That click, share.
That's right. The share button. That's right.
Yeah. And Jess, you mentioned it too, where Bandcamp, I one of the amazing things that Bandcamp has done to where on certain Fridays that the whole proceeds goes to the band.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We've got to start getting more into that Bandcamp Friday thing.
Yeah, I miss posting about it when it comes up for sure. We have most of the discography is all on Bandcamp as well too, so it counts on those Fridays for us too, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure. So before we finish up, Jess or Kent, anything else you would like to promote or any last parting words?
Anything for you? I guess keep an eye out for the last single and the full release of the EP. The next one to come out is called Might. I'm mostly excited about that one. It's a pretty cool song.
Yeah, it's not one I would say that it's the least among us. It's coming out last, but it's still a strong entry. We're all really proud of it. So stay tuned for that end of this month. We'll give the specific date pretty soon for Might and the full Darkwater EP being finished.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Jess, Kent, I really appreciate the time. Thanks for giving me some great insight about that EP and what you got going on. Kent, stay safe out there. I mean, make sure, you know that, dealing with it for a while. Jess, don't kill anybody in real life in Mortal Kombat.
I won't. Just Mortal Kombat.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Y'all have a great evening.
You too. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.